flashlights that the sentries are using, just a little bit more. Not necessarily going to deal that much damage. You know, at some point he's probably going to be able to take it out, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. We see the Protoss player is so confident in his advantage that he's actually just going to go ahead and take the high yield minerals. He figures his army's in the middle anyway, and he can cut the Terran player off at these 2 choke points. That it's not going to matter anyway. Marauder Marines stimming up to see if they can try to grab the watchtower. Not going to happen. Zeld says, get out of here. And then the rest of the army, of course, kind of agrees with him, backs him up. Which shows you, never talk trash unless you've got a giant Protoss futuristic army of robots and soldiers to fight with you. We see finally these guys were able to be dropped off in relative safety. Now they're going to heal up, possibly go back in for a drop. I'd repair this medevac though. I wouldn't feel safe driving this thing. This thing's busted down. It's held together only by glue and, you know, some gum that they found under the seats that they used to fix it. It's kind of like the Millennium Falcon. You have to hit it every time to be able to get it to work. Yeah, you're going to want a mechanic to go look at that one. And yeah, in fact, they are going to go ahead and just walk back to base. People at base are going to be really happy to see them. They should open the door for them, be really nice, you know, give them a hero's welcome, because those guys risked their lives out there, and they did a good job. But their wife and kids are going to be glad to see them. Hopefully we won't see any sort of castaway thing where, you know, like she thought he was dead, so she found a new husband or anything like that. Because you know what happens in these, like, you know, where do the husbands and wives must stay somewhere, right? Like in the command center. Like, so the Marines come back to the command center. And, oh, I thought you were dead. No, honey, I was sitting in the medevac. Oh, well, I remarried. You know, it's just going to be an awkward situation, something you want to avoid. Terran player now grabbing the command center. Is going to grab put a planetary fortress there, almost for certain. Doesn't quite have enough gas yet. Now he does. There it is. Very difficult to move a Terran player from this. Colossus decided to take some target practice at the rocks. This is what they do for fun. If you ever ask yourself, you know, what do robots do for a good time? And nice, able to move in, deal a little bit of damage. That's what I'm talking about, regaining little advantages, and that's going to go away. Oh, so much for that little advantage. But as I was saying, if you wonder what robots do for their spare time, it's shoot rocks. Shoot rocks is the answer. Oh, he's gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna go for a second shot there. I bet he could have had it. Luckily, there's no blink here. Otherwise, the Stalker's been able to blink up and take a lot of pot shots. We see 2-2 done. Is the Terran player gonna go for 3-3? I'd like to see that. That'd be a great move. If he was at 3-3 and the Protoss player was only at 2-1 or something like that, that'd be really effective. You see a Ghost coming out. Ghost really important for the EMPs, especially on these sentries and potentially High Templars in the future. And also, when we talk about fighting, now even though these small corridors tend to favor the Protoss player, it actually helps out Vikings, because the Vikings are able, with their long range of 9, are able to kind of hide around where not all the Stalkers are able to shoot at them. And are able to deal a lot of damage that way. And oh my goodness, he's going to be able to move in and snipe this, is he? Yep, he's going to go for it. He's got it. Needs you to slide on out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Stim and run. Oh, he's just going to walk at normal speed. I'd be stimming right now if I was him. Maybe you don't want to stim because you don't want to take the extra damage on the Marauders. Marauders take 20 damage, of course, when they stim. It's a lot to be taken on your entire army. Finally, all the SCVs get over here and start mining the gold minerals, which, of course, provide 7 minerals instead of 5, which is a huge increase in income. We see the Dark Templar hiding just outside of range, but he's about to get smacked in the face of the FXO military. Take that, Dark Templar. See another one chasing him behind. Oop, able to turn around right before the missile turret, able to save his own life. Now we see supply counts are finally starting to catch up. The Terran player is almost going to be even. Now, generally speaking, a max army, max versus max army will favor the Protoss player, although it's heavily dependent on army composition. In this case, and positioning. Positioning is the most important. And this Planetary Fortress is going to do a lot of good for the Terran player. He's going to be able to keep repairing, and it's going to deal a lot of damage to the Zealots. Able to kill most of the Zealots there. That's great. Those are the kind of units you need to take out first, because the rest of these are armored. And because they're armored, your Marauder's able to deal a ton of damage to them. 20 damage is really effective at just taking out the army. It needs lots of force fields. Oh, not quite there. You need the force field spread out just a little bit more, and you would be able to trap a large portion of that army and be able to deal a lot of damage to those Marauders. A couple of these Vikings are lucky to be alive. I think they need a little medic in to be able to come save their lives. We see replenishment sentries, because a bunch of the sentries just got picked off. And of course some more Zealots coming in, some DTs to go play around with the Terran army, make sure they don't get too comfortable with their surroundings and so on. We see he's just going to go slide. Oh, he's just going to go check for the expansion. He's going to see it's not there. Possibly sit there until it, until the Terran player decides to put it down. And in fact, I believe that the Terran player actually does not have a 4th base. I think he needs to start thinking about taking a 4th base pretty quick here, as he's down to. I mean, he's got 2 mining bases right now, and actually he's got 200 minerals that he hasn't taken yet. He probably should put an SCV on one of those. But as I was saying, I mean, the gold base is still relatively healthy, so he's not in a super hurry. He's got 3-3 coming as well as Viking Weapons 1. He's able to go to the engagement here. A lot of shots to be able to take out the Zealots right away. A lot of great EMPs, able to take out all the Protoss shields. Protoss armies are severely weak, and he needs a scan to be able to take out the Dark Templar. And dealing a lot of damage, but however the Dark Templar is doing a lot of damage as well as landing the Vikings afterwards to be able to give him the extra punch in this combat, and actually he's going to be able to come out ahead and push him back. Now the question is if he's going to be able to go much farther, or the Protoss going to be able to warp more units and to be able to push him back. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to push him back. He's going to be able to take out the Nexus, and he's going to be able to take out the other 3rd base as well, and be able to just deal crippling blow and actually take the win here. Excuse me. And he's still dealing more damage here, still able to move in. Oh my goodness, this is a terrific comeback on the part of the Terran player after that first failed rush and the lateness in getting his expansion. He's be able to scan to be able to take out this Dark Templar. Nice EMP, able to take out the shields. The Vikings will lift back up, blast apart that Colossus. The rest of these Marauders are going to be able to keep firing. Able to take out all the DTs there, although not after the DTs did a lot of damage now. And he's going to start firing at the production facilities for the Protoss player. Protoss player down to DTs. I mean, the Terran player is going to need to be using scans for each of these, which is exactly what this Protoss player wants. That's why the DTs are so good against Terran, is if they don't have the Raven, then they just need to scan for everything. If they do have the Raven, you're able to pick it off sometimes. He's able to send the probes in now. That's never a good sign. He's going to keep firing. If he takes this Nexus out, it's going to be a good game. We also see some damage from here. Great move by putting the Vikings up here, able to take pot shots at the probes at the other base. He's about to take out this Nexus. Oh my goodness! It looks like the Terran player is going to go ahead and win this game. Socke should GG at any point in time now. And actually, we almost see 3-3 for the Terran player as well, and that's only going to make things worse for the Protoss player, who is actually at 3-3 for himself. But it's not going to do him that much good at this point. Does he have another scan? Looks like he doesn't have a scan. He's going to deal as much damage to the probes as possible. He's going to lift off and move back. That was a lot of damage that he dealt, though. I guess the GG is not going to come as soon as I thought it was going to. The Vikings did a little less damage than I thought they were going to do up here in the blue minerals. And actually, if we go to, I mean, we look at the army size, though. Look at that difference, though. I mean, I don't know why Socke's still in this game. He should probably just quit out of it. You know, the Dark Templars in the world, and the worst play on the part of FXOMoonan to be able to not to be able to seal this deal. Look at this army. This army is gigantic. He's got tons of medevacs. There is no way that Socke's army is ever going to be able to compete with this. He doesn't see the Dark Templar. He's going to get EMP'd. Or EMP'd. A lot of people don't realize, actually, that if you EMP something, it actually says cloaked units hit by EMP are revealed for a short time. They're revealed for like 10 to 15 seconds, even if they don't use energy to cloak, that is. So you can actually use ghosts to reveal Dark Templars, observers, and that sort of thing. Units hit by a mothership. And not enough people use that, I feel like. It's hard to see necessarily where something is, but a lot of times 75 energy on the ghost is less important than the 100 energy that you're going to be able to have. Sorry, missed a little bit of harassment here. Did a little bit of damage to the probes, I assume. The rest of his army is going to move up. We're going to see a scan. Actually, he did EMP the Protoss army. He's going to take it out. He's done a 27 supply, and then he's going to GG out of it. And we move on to game 2. All right, we'll see you all there. This is PGL Milncraft signing off.